Okay, when we talk about the relationship between the taxable income and the tax payment, we actually there is a very simple tools, okay, which is this equation, income and the tax rate. They are the two factors, so they times together, and then we can find the tax payment. So actually, tax payment is the change of the tax payment comes from these two factors. Okay, so when we try to find out, which types of tax they have, or their tax payment will increase when the taxable income increase, then we can use this simply. Let's do it together. Okay, so progressive tax, that means when the income increase, and then the progressive means the tax rate will increase. Okay, so actually by the left hand side, of the equal, that means their effect will be the total effect of the tax payment. Then it should be increased, right? So we know that tax payment should be increased in this case. Okay, we just forget this in the okay. So much distractions. Okay, so now, secondly, when we talk about the proportional tax, that means when the taxable income increase, then the tax rate remain unchanged. So together, the effect is increase. For regressive tax, taxable income increase and the tax rate decrease. In together, it seems like unchanged, right? So however, we have to think about the percentage change of the increase in taxable income and the decrease in tax rates. So think about this. If we find that the increase in taxable income is larger than the change in the tax rate, so what happened in together? There will be increase. Okay, so how about that? If the taxable income increase is smaller than the tax rate decrease, what will happen? It will be decrease. So for regressive tax to conclude, actually it may be unchanged, increase, or decrease. So it's a very useful tool for us to handling the tax payment of different types of tax. Okay, so let's have us furthermore applications. Let's just like this. Okay, last question D. Okay, when taxable income increase, the tax payment increase is asked. Oh, it may be regressive tax. Is that correct? Okay, so when we look at the question, we find that it's talk about tax payment. So be aware, every time when you talk about tax payment, we cannot directly relate it to the regressive tax or progressive tax. Okay, we have to change the tax payment into tax rate first. Okay, so what should we do? We just simply use that equation, right? The income times the tax rate equal to tax payment. Okay, so now we know that according to the questions, it said that taxable income increase. Okay, increase, then the tax payment increase. Okay, tax payment this way increase. Okay, so now think about whether increase, unchanged, and decrease is possible. Okay, so now income increase, if the tax rate increase, what happened to the tax payment? It will be increased, right? So increase in tax rate is possible. Secondly, the income increase, if the tax rate remain unchanged, what happened? The total effect will be increase, right? So tax payment increase, that's still possible. Okay, decrease in tax rate. So if income increase is more than the tax rate decrease, so tax payment will also be increased, right? So it's still possible. So we know that in this case, in this condition, actually all types of tax would be possible, and it use the wordings maybe, so that will be correct. Okay, because it is one of the reasonable answer, it will be correct. Okay, so now let's do one more together. Let's say here. Okay, when taxable income increases and the tax payment remain unchanged, it may be proportional tax. Okay, let's see. Use the same formula. Taxable income increase, tax payment remain unchanged. Okay, it should be, let's find out whether increase, unchanged, and decrease is possible. Okay, so it said that proportional test. Let's check. We start with proportional test first. Okay, tax rate remain unchanged. So increase in income and unchanged in tax rate, is that the tax payment remain unchanged? No. Okay, it should be increased, right? So actually, if the tax rate, it's proportional tax, the tax payment have to increase. It's impossible to be remain unchanged. Okay, so actually in this case only so remain unchanged. So only one possible case, which is taxable income increase and the tax payment decrease at the same rate, then the result will remain unchanged. Okay, one up, one down, so remain unchanged. Okay, so actually it may be proportional tax. No, impossible. So this is wrong. So if we can handle this simple equation, then we can handle so many questions. Okay, so now the key steps. I just summarize the key steps. First, look at the answer to find, or to look at the questions, find out whether it's talking about tax payment. Okay, if it's talking about tax payment, we need to do this. We need to do using the equation income times tax rate equal to tax payment. Okay, in order to handle this, if it's not talk about tax payment, it's talk about tax rate. Okay, simple. If talk about tax rate, first, if this is positively related, then it will be progressive tax. Okay, that's income increase, tax rate increase, right? Progressive. And it is negatively related, that would be regressive. Okay, and the tax rate remain change, then that will be proportional. So that says actually that is not that difficult if you handle the key tools. Okay, for tax payment, use the equation. For tax rate, find out whether is the income and the tax rate is positively related or not. Okay, so that's all for today.